Salve, citizen. Welcome to the first epistle to the Empire of Reason. My name is Stephen Sumner, and today's topic is reason itself. And it is titled 2 + 2 = 4, not fish. And we start with a quote from Epictetus. Things and people are not what we wish them to be, nor what they seem to be. They are what they are. In the writings of the ancient Stoics, there is much talk about God, aka Zeus, and the gods, having designed humans, utilizing their divine reason to give the same to us. The Stoics put forth that since we were designed to use reason, we must use it in order to have a good life. If one reads the undercurrents, though, it is clear that the Stoics put little stock in faith, or anything akin to it, such as superstition. They paid lip service to divine beings, as many academics and people in power do today, in order to keep the believers happy and the coffers of the temples full. They believed a God set the universe in motion, but became subject to the laws of nature himself. And the Stoics' message is very clear. A good life has little to do with faith in the gods, but everything to do with reason. Why? They held it as an axiom that if one's life is based on lies or half-truths or misinformation, it could not objectively be referred to as a good life. What is the most powerful tool we have as a species to do away with falsehood and ignorance, as well as propping up truth? Reason. Libraries are filled with books from throughout the ages on this subject. I do not pretend to have the mind of an Aurelius or Seneca, so I will try to be as simple, clear, and succinct as I can in dealing with this topic. Ready? 2 + 2 = 4. But you say, duh, of course it does. For if I have 2 fountain pens, then add 2 more fountain pens, then count them all again, I will see that I have 4 fountain pens. So simple and straightforward, even a first grader could figure it out. So what does 2 + 2 = 4 have to do with having a good life? How does something so simple, based on reason, matter to one's day-to-day existence? Whether you realize it or not, there are countless people out there trying to convince you and untold others that 2 + 2 = 5, or 2 + 2 = 230, or perhaps even 2 + 2 = fish. Sounds crazy at first, but if you were born into a home, a culture, or a belief system where 2 + 2 = fish, and you are told this from the time you wore diapers, it will seem true and reasonable to you regardless of the mountains of verifiable evidence that dictate otherwise. On a side note, for you philosophy and logic junkies out there, ready to argue what 2 is, what plus is, what equals is, and what 4 is, just let it go. The Stoics, especially Seneca, were adamantly against turning the tool of philosophy into word games. The functional reality is, if you have 2 fountain pens, and I give you 2 more, you will have 4 fountain pens. End of story. Thank you for your time. Have a nice day. Back to the main article. Before you feel good about yourself by thinking, why of course my life is based on reason, I like science, completely disregard superstition, and don't cling to any outdated religious beliefs. Not so fast. Unless you've literally spent your entire life focusing solely on the pursuit of logic and reason, you have at least some characteristics and modes of operation that are as far from reason as London is from Tokyo. Here are some things that reason truly contradicts, yet many hold to be reasonable. If I have more money, I will be happier. If I have more followers on social media, I will be happier. If blank were changed about my physical appearance, I would be happier. If blank were out of office or the government, my life would be happier. If I have smartphone model X+1 instead of Model X, my life would be happier. On a superficial and fleeting level, all these ideas have some validity in limited ways. Politicians, Hollywood, Madison Avenue, and religious leaders offer you things that can make you happy. Kind of. But truly, and for how long? Step back take an objective look at all that you hold to be important in life. You will find that certain authority figures or institutions have you convinced that 2 plus 2 equals fish. And it must be true because everyone else in your sphere of functioning believes the same thing. But it is vital to remember that believing in something does not make it true. Let's repeat that. Believing in something does not make it true. I am not putting these words forth in order to tell you what to think. However, since you actually made it this far, I assume you want to hear not only what I, but also the Stoics would say about how you should think. And the answer to that is reasonably. Reason is not guided by whether it makes you feel good or not. No government representative or supposed holy man or movie star should have the ability to exert their will in contradiction of reason. And simply because large groups of people accept something is true is not a qualifier of reason either. What is reasonable? 2 plus 2 equals 4. If you want to think differently, that's a choice. But it would be a choice not in alignment with reality. If you don't function according to the what is of reality, you will not only miss out on a good life, but experience much needless suffering as well. The key word there being needless. Acta non verba. Consistently ask the question, how do I know that is true? Not only of information online from news sources and politicians, but of yourself, especially the things you think are 100% true. Or simply follow the advice of astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson. Demand evidence, think critically. Thank you for your time. If you'd like a manuscript of what I just read, please visit veritascurat.net. And also included will be some further quotes supporting the basic premise of this article. And so, for now, remember Veritas Curat, truth cures. Vale.